Okay, if you'd like to turn on your videos now, please. Keep on mute, but you can turn your videos on so we can see everyone and we can say hello to everyone, at least through the power of digital connection. So please turn on your videos, but stay on mute. Okay, so many happy looking people we have across 4 continents today. From the USA, through the Caribbean, Africa, and the Far East to the Philippines. Okay, we still have a few people to join us, so we'll take a few more minutes. .37, we still have a few more people to join. I believe we have 40 graduates today, so we still have a few more to join us, but we'll start in the next few minutes. There will be a presentation and then there'll be a question and answer time for you to respond as well. At any time, please use the chat box to type a message or type any question that you might have.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're coming across loud and clear.
Wonderful, wonderful. How are you, Professor Andy?
Well, as you can probably hear on my background noise, it's the middle of the monsoon here in Bangkok, so it is rather inclement but pleasant.
Indeed. I understand. I'm not too far away from you. Totally understandable. Let me just check on a roll call. So really excited to have almost 40 graduates. What on our 12th graduation ceremony. And I'll go through the details of what you all have achieved from different parts of the world, etc., etc. Fantastic. So let me do a roll. Ask my colleagues, Priya, or who's going to be doing the roll call. Could you Could you just check everyone is there? I see there's lots of participants, but do we have all our students? Otherwise, we'll give them a couple of minutes.
Yes, sir. We have we have 5 participants to join. I'm following up with them. Please give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, it may be possible they're coming through Facebook, so.
That's also true. Yes, indeed. Okay. Very nice. No, this really is. I had a chance to look through the list of graduates, how they performed. And Andy, either you're doing a marvelous job of supporting them, or they're getting better and better.
I think they're getting better and better. This crop is our best ever, I think. And we have got more distinctions than ever before. I will be able to retire next week now. You don't need me anymore. Now all the graduates can take over.
That's great. That's marvelous. That's marvelous.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And Andy is usually not generous with his compliments, so this is even more interesting. Maybe it's the monsoons getting to him. We don't know, but we'll give the students the benefit of the doubt in this case.
Okay, we're at 41, so I suggest we proceed.
All right, great. Thank you. Well, welcome everybody. It's a real honor to have all of you with us. 12th graduation ceremony, and making it even more auspicious. Today is Mohandas K. Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. For people from India and even globally, he has been a shining light in terms of how he has lived his life and his guidance, etc. So making it even more auspicious. Welcome everyone. And co-moderating with me is Professor Andy. Andy, go ahead.
Greetings to all. As well as being Gandhi's birthday, it is also Ok Pansar. It's a major Buddhist festival here in Thailand, and it is a blue moon tonight. So on this doubly auspicious occasion for your graduation. I'm sure you've all heard of the expression once in a blue moon. Well, it's a blue moon.
And what makes it blue, Andy? Would you enlighten us, Mr. Encyclopedia?
When you get 2 full moons in 1 month, the second full moon is a blue moon. So in September, we had 2 full moons in 1 month, which makes it a blue moon period.
And when are we expecting the next blue moon, since it's supposed to be a blue moon?
About 13 years' time.
Okay, okay. All right, wonderful. Next slide, please. So just to show you the numerous number of people that we have, I won't read out all the names yet, they'll all come later. But for each person, we've indicated your name. Wait, go back. Your name, the country you're from, and also what your title is. I see an arrow on the top left. Looks like Ilitonga is from Ghana and Zambia. I don't know how she's managed to do that or how we've managed to do that. But can you please correct it for when we finalize, when we finish this, and she gets to pick one country when we're done. Okay, go to the next slide. If you don't see your face, we have 3 slides. This is slide 2. Again, country and organization that you represent and your title, and go to the next slide. Number 3. So in case you do not see your name in any of these 3, then we have forgotten you, which is not possible because I know Priya is very thorough in going through all of these, but do let us know. Next slide, please. So if we look by country, we have Zambia, Ghana, Angola, Zimbabwe, 5 from Zimbabwe, Cameroon, which is the highest in this round, Cameroon, Trinidad, Haiti, Tanzania, United States, Burkina Faso, Rwanda, Mozambique, Sierra Leone, Nigeria. What's Lesotho? Uganda, Burundi, Philippines, India. Lesotho, I believe, is probably what that is. Please check that as well. By the way, feel free to, I see some people in the waiting room. Please keep letting them in. And if we see any errors, please keep catching them as well. So looks like Zimbabwe has the highest in this round. And in fact, we do have lots of students from there. Normally Nigeria has a large number as well. Organizations, just a few samples: USAID, UNDP, various ministries of health, Save the Children, UNICEF as well, UNHCR. So several UN agencies, Management Sciences for Health, and USAID, among others as well. Next. If you look at by designation, look at the variation in the kinds of people that have joined the course. Director of Logistics, Assistant Finance Officer, obviously focused more on procurement, Regional PSM focal point, Medical Supplies, Pharmacist, Procurement and Logistics Officer, Manager, HIV Advisor. So we've got disease-focused individuals working in supply chain. We've got pharmacists. We've got those who are focused specifically in either procurement or supply chain, and even health management information systems. So an entire continuum, across the entire continuum. And which is what is unique about this particular course. It covers a vast array of topics. Next. So as Andy was saying, we've had everybody, obviously, if you're here, you've passed. We've had surprisingly low number in pass, but for merit, distinction, and high distinction, this is one of the highest sets that we have seen, and we'll go through it in more detail, which really means you have worked hard. The course is not easy. There are some modules that are extremely challenging and long, and you have to really stay focused to overcome them. And to see these kinds of high numbers, it makes us very glad to know that people are really getting better at what they're doing, and we're able to explain and support them appropriately as well. Wonderful. Thank you. Next. So confirmation, we've already done that, right? Congratulations indeed. Next. Andy, why don't you introduce me?
What can we say here about our Dean and Director? Okay. He has been in this scene for more than 25 years in very senior roles. Most recently as the
Andy,
Deputy, sorry?
Andy, you're not coming in that clearly. Let me just check with others.
Okay, are we a bit better?
Others, oh, it might be me. You know what? The internet, it's telling me my internet connection is not stable. Please go ahead, Andy.
Okay. So most recently as Deputy Chair of People That Deliver, the global supply chain platform hosted by UNICEF, more than 25 years. I can't think how long we've worked together in different organizations around the world. Former head of Global Fund, Department of Procurement and Supply Chain Management, advisor to Gates Foundation, World Bank, World Health Organization, and many ministries of health across the world. Also major roles with Asia Pacific Malaria Leaders Alliance, technical activities, major managerial activities across the world. Really a driving force in supply chain management for low and middle income countries in healthcare for more than 25 years. Okay, so that's our Dean and Director who really put the focus into developing this course, into making it happen. All right, let's move on.
So we have a short film for an overview of Empower and the organization that you've joined, which has transformed over the years as well. So just take a look. It's about 3 minutes long, I believe. Over to you, Priya. I can't hear anything, can you? Andy, can you hear anything?
No, oh, no sound.
No sound. No, there is team. There is no sound, just images. And it's very glitchy as well. Andy, same thing for you?
Yeah, I think we better stop that and move on. We don't have the bandwidth for it.
Yeah, Priya, why don't you do this, or Hitesh, why don't you put the link in the chat, and the team can, the graduates can view this at any time afterwards. Okay, so put the link, it's on YouTube, it's on Empower School of Health YouTube. And if you can put that in the chat, and we can move on to the next slide. All right. So as you all know, the mentor and the supreme, I mean, he's an incredible leader, is President, the former president of Ghana, His Excellency John A. Kufuor. And he has met many of our graduates and alumni when we've done a leadership workshop in Ghana. And it really is an honor for him to be part of our organization and supporting us as well. So just wanted to let you know that you are part of this group that is advised by former ministers of health, former heads of state, former secretaries of health. Please go ahead. Next. Our reach, if you can, again, please update the slide. It's 200,000 learners, 100+ countries, 250 organizations, and delivered over 1 million hours of training across all the different organizations. Many of you are from these countries and from these organizations with similar profiles. So you've joined a company of a large number. This is not to say that 200,000 have graduated from the postgraduate diploma. That is, that number is still around 1,000, but we have trained more than 200,000 people globally. Next. We believe in partnerships and South-South and North-South partnerships. So Empower does not work alone. And in fact, we are very well recognized and connected with organizations in America, Europe, across Africa and Asia as well. So when you become a member of our family, we help you reach out to all the others as well. Okay, and we do believe in strong partnerships. If your organization hasn't partnered with us yet and is interested, please let us know. Next. So the three broad areas of where we work and provide support globally: leadership and change management, and we have a center for leadership development. Many of you who are graduating are directors and managers, and after your experience on strengthening your technical capacity, you need to start thinking about building your leadership and management capacity. We're working with USAID, various ministries of health, Global Fund, Gavi, and others in strengthening leadership capacity, especially in supply chain. Digital learning, working with more than 40 countries and supporting them. And of course, public health and procurement supply chain, which you're very familiar with. Next. Different ways we deliver our learning and capacity building, and you've experienced some of it already. Next. These are different. Yeah, I think there's another couple. There you go. Before that, this is almost, you know, as you will understand, pre-COVID times, where we've been doing a lot of workshops face to face. In fact, we just finished our first post-COVID workshop in Tanzania with the Global Fund. And these were conducted, as you can see, Bangkok, Hyderabad, Iraq, Dubai, another one in Iraq. Some on leadership, some supply chain, some on public health and M&E, working in several areas. What we understand the benefit of face-to-face, we also understand the challenges one faces by working face-to-face, and which is why bringing in the digital angle is really, really important. But both of them have their space and areas of importance. Next. We work with government organizations, multiple of them, and of course the list is much longer, UN agencies, donor agencies, academia, and implementing organizations as well. Next. Some of our advisors, many of you whom you may have met. I work on the global side, on the strategic side. Denny Brune is a former head of various UN agencies and joined us and manages Empower Europe and the Francophone countries. Professor Andy, I'll introduce him in more detail later on. Director of Professor of Public Health and Director of Training and Capacity Development, and various other individuals, very notable individuals who are well regarded in their field. Next. Great, my pleasure to introduce Andy now. Many of you would probably have memorized his voice that's deep in your psyche from listening to all the courses and the support that is provided. So Andy, more than 30 years of practical experience in providing medical procurement and logistics management functions in low to middle income countries. He's worked in supporting from village revolving drug funds and vaccine supply chain systems to rural facilities in Africa, working with major teaching hospitals, developing and designing national policies and courses. You can read the other points over here on the screen, but what I'd like to emphasize and mention about Andy is we worked together in management sciences for health. Andy was then sent off to lead as chief of party to support several countries in Africa and Asia, and has been a tremendous support to Empower. He joined us about 10 years ago and has been guiding us in supporting not just the faculty, but the students as well. He truly is an inspiration, both when it comes to whether it's academic or as an individual human being as well. So Andy, thank you, and over to you.
Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. Of course, you're graduating, so it's congratulations. But I want to give you double congratulations because you've done this as a part-time course. Sometimes it must have felt like you were trying to roll a boulder up a mountain to cope with all the weight of material and intensity that we gave you. But as you graduate, you are not only procurement supply chain experts now, you are also time management experts, because all of you have had to manage doing this course with your work, with your employment, with your family, with your parents, with your children, with your religious duties, with all the aspects of life. You've had to fit this course in with all its intensity and do it. So double congratulations. You're not only PSM people, you're time management people. Next slide, please. Recently, my grandchildren asked me, what is it that you actually do, Granddad? What is this supply chain thingy that you do? Well, it's difficult to explain, isn't it? because it's such a multidisciplinary area. There are elements of law. Can you remember in the procurement module, we talked about converting between civil and criminal law when we did documents and the law of fraud? There are elements of economics. How many times do we talk about per capita spending on medicines? There are elements of statistics. Maybe we drove you crazy with binomial equations for economic order quantities and economic order levels. There was data processing. So many different parts come together to make up supply chain. It's difficult to describe. Next slide, please. But in global health, we have our sustainable development goals, which came from, of course, Millennium Development Goals. And SDG number 3 is for health. Every function of those health sustainable development goals require a fully functional procurement and supply chain. If we don't have that, we're never going to be able to achieve those sustainable development goals. That's our critical role in supporting global health. And that's why we need to bring a multidisciplinary approach, which you've been through in this course. Next slide, please. So what is it that we do? We come back to the 6 rights. The right medicine, at the right price, in the right place, at the right time, in the right quantity, and in the right condition. Well, that's easy, isn't it? All we got to do is 6 rights. It's not so hard, just get the medicine. If it was easy, none of us would have had to go through this course. It's really difficult to achieve that, especially the challenges of the last mile. The last mile takes more than 50% just to go 1.5 kilometers. That last mile will take 50% of the PSM budget. That's how much it costs to do what we do. That's how we have to find ways to accomplish it. Next slide, please. Of course, we cannot go without talking about COVID. Everyone is talking about COVID, but you are already COVID experts. What COVID supplies do you need? Before, and gloves and gowns and aprons. What's the technical specification for an apron for a COVID worker? They didn't teach you that at pharmacy school, did they? Yeah. Fortunately, World Health has developed a list of all the items that you need for COVID, and it's available online, and you can access it because we've driven you crazy looking for URL links from WHO that don't exist anymore. To do your case studies, to do your homework. You know how to find things on the internet now because we made you do it. You can find a complete list of publication of all the materials you need to respond to COVID. How much COVID supplies do you need? Well, WHO has also made, with many partners, including ourselves, the essential supplies forecasting tool. And you can all use it because it's Excel-based morbidity quantification. And all of you have done morbidity quantification in Excel. It might have driven you crazy. You might not have been happy about doing it, but you all did it. So now all of you can be COVID experts. You know how to find the list of supplies. You know how to do the quantification. All you've got to do is download 2 tools from the internet. Off you go. You are now instant COVID experts. An epidemic that nobody foresaw, that nobody could have forecast when it was going to come. But you can respond to it because you've been given the tools in this course to be fully flexible. Next slide, please. Unfortunately, many of our supply chains are very weak and they're failing. We're failing to get the commodities through. It's particularly important that we address these, that we get together. There is a major problem on measles vaccination. COVID doesn't cause measles, but it causes disruption of the supply chain that delivers the measles vaccine. If we don't have a strong, robust, resilient supply chain, we can never respond to pandemics. We've got to build much stronger systems. Next slide, please. Fortunately, our role is being recognized. This quotation from the Director General of the World Health Assembly: all the donated drugs in the world won't do any good if there's not an infrastructure for their delivery. Doesn't matter how much Medicine Global Fund or PEPFAR or all the other donors buy. If we can't deliver it, it's no use. And the importance of supply chain is now coming forward and being recognized. Now is the time to be in supply chain, because after years of struggling, finally we are moving forward, and we're moving forward at speed. Next slide, please. Importance of PSM is fully recognized by the Global Fund, because half of their grant goes to PSM issues, goes to commodities and getting those commodities delivered. Global Fund knows how important PSM is and is investing in developing PSM. Next slide, please. World Health Organization has produced a new roadmap for countries with 10 key areas to develop PSM over the period 2019 to 2023. Your country has a roadmap from WHO to develop PSM. Please find it. Please work with it. Please move things along in your country to develop PSM. You have the skills, you have the knowledge and the ability to do that now. Move forward. Oh, sorry, next slide, please. Okay. So this roadmap for procurement and supply chain management is about improving capacity and especially improving resilience. If we're going to be able to respond to pandemics, we have to have a resilient supply chain. It has to be able to cope with disruptions. Next slide, please. PSM is not new. More than 2,000 years ago in Egypt, on ancient papyri, they wrote the formula for calculating consumption of medical supplies for Cleopatra's armies. More than 2,000 years ago, there was a manual for the Roman army for medical supplies, how to calculate how much medical supplies you needed. 2,000 years ago, we're still using the same formula today. More than 40 years ago, we wrote the first edition of Managing Drug Supply. 40 years ago, everything in your course covered in Managing Drug Supply. First published in '82. We still need to be able to implement that. You now have the skills and the ability to go forward and implement. Next slide, please. So go and change the world. My time is over. Now it's your time to go and change the world and make supply chain work and improve healthcare. Next slide, please. So congratulations once more. I bid you go forth and use your skills and knowledge with confidence and evidence. And of course, with joy and happiness. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you very much, Andy. Always a pleasure to hear from you and inspiring for all the attendees as well. So to give you a sense, I graduated a very long time ago, and the person in the middle, the tall guy, that's me with a fully black beard. And now you can see me on the left with a fully gray beard. Decades, several decades ago. Congratulations to everyone who's graduating now. Many of you are probably young enough to, what, I guess in your 20s and 30s. Fantastic. And like Andy said, you're in a position to go forth and change the world. Next slide. So now what we will do is to confer the diplomas the postgraduate diplomas to each of the individuals. And what we would like to do is to request each person to speak for 60 seconds. And basically, and please keep it short because we have a lot of, if everyone speaks with for 60 seconds or less, that's already 40 minutes. So we want to make sure that everyone is attentive and at the same time, we are short and precise. Would love to hear from you. We don't want to do all the speaking. Really important. It's a very special day for all of you. So take this moment, a quick short comment of thoughts, feedback, gratitude, joy, whomever you want to call out would be more than welcome. Could I ask Priya, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Priya, I'm going to give you the lovely challenge of trying to pronounce everyone's name. If you get stuck, you can, of course, ask Professor Andy or me to jump in. All right, but I'm sure you know many of these people personally already over the years. Okay, so please go ahead.
Okay. So I would invite Sunashi. Please share your experience with us.
And could I ask the admin person to unmute the person who's going to speak one by one? Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, and hello to everybody. My name is Ilitongo Sasa Sondashi, and I'm married and a privileged mother of 3 sons. I've worked as a supply chain pharmacist for over 10 years through rural district pharmacies, urban district pharmacies, Central Hospital, and now at the National Medical Stores in Zambia, where I work as a director of logistics. My experience has been very enriching as I undertook the PGD course. And not only is this course a very interactive course that builds on knowledge and skills on practical aspects of the supply chain, but it also allowed for flexibility when it came to the study times. But this required a high level of discipline to maintain adherence to the deadlines. I would recommend this course for all public health supply chain practitioners. I would like to thank Professor Lalvani and the entire Empower team, my husband, Stephen, my children, my parents, Dr. and Mrs. Sasa, my sisters, Sungwan Sanana, my friends, my workmates, and the EU for all the support rendered to and during my studies. And overall, I thank God for this experience and congratulations to all my fellow graduates. Thank you.
I see why you are the director of logistics there. I think you need to run for Minister of Health, okay? All right. All right, thank you for that. Let's quickly move on. Excellent.
Okay, next we have Gloria. Please share your feedback. Please share your experience.
Priya, you should mention both the names in case there's more than one Gloria next time. Okay, Gloria Agyekum, I believe. Gloria, are you there? Can you unmute? And team, can you make sure she's unmuted? Yep, she's there. I can see. We can't hear you, Gloria. Let's come back to Gloria. Oh, wait. Yes, we hear something. Go ahead. Nope. Let's come back to Gloria. Gloria, your connection is not good. We'll move on and then come back to you, okay? Please check your connection. Please mute Gloria for the moment and let her check her connection, okay?
Next we have Antonio de Oliveira. Please share your experience.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Perfect. Perfect.
Okay,
Please go
I'm
ahead.
Antonio Oliveira from Angola. I'm 44 years old. I work for United Nations Development Program at Global Fund Project. Well, I made up my mind to move on with the postgraduate diploma at Empower School because of my colleague who had training in Bangkok 2 years ago. He encouraged me, and so I move on as a way to get another challenge within our project. First of all, I also would like to congratulate all of the students here, including myself, for finally graduating. As we know that every end has a new beginning, today might be the last day for many of us as a student of this wonderful school Empower. But I believe our learning will actually start from today. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Antonio, you're very brave. If you're from Angola, that means you would have preferred to do this in Portuguese. And because we only offer it in English and French, you've gone for the English version. So congratulations on that, and even double congratulations for graduating. Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Okay.
Next.
Next, we have Brain. Please share your experience.
Yeah, you see,
It's
Brin
Brain
Kazingizi.
Kanzingli. Yeah, right.
Kazingizi, okay. Go ahead, Brin. Priya, in the meantime, please check with Gloria what you can check on WhatsApp with her if her connection is okay, and then she can speak after this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move to the next person. We'll come back to Bryn as well.
Then we have Kristen. The
No,
I
yeah,
guess
even
she
Juice,
is also,
Christian, Juice, Gimpa. We do apologize if we're doing a terrible pronunciation of your name.
No,
Christian,
it's okay.
are you
It's
there?
okay. Yes, I'm there. Can you get me? Can
Yes,
you hear
perfect. Please continue.
me? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for the floor. So hi to everyone. Nothing much to say, just to say I'm very excited to be part of this batch. It was a very good experience learning with Empower, and I really appreciate the mentoring of Priya. And also I have some of my colleagues, especially here in Cameroon, that I used to consult for some questions we used to discuss together. So it was a very great experience, and thanks to you for making it possible. I'm pharmacist, 31 years old. I'm now working with Chemonics as malaria supply chain specialist in Cameroon. Thanks, over.
Thank you so much, Christian. Excellent, you're welcome. Many students of ours from Cameroon. Welcome.
okay, next we have Cindy. Please share your experience. Cindy Baksh.
Let's move on. We'll come back, make a list.
Next we have Chloe Para Paul Boni. Please share your experience.
I see. By the way, please make sure we are unmuting them in case they are not able to unmute. Okay. Clooney, can you go ahead now, please?
Thanks. My name is Cluny Farah Paul Boni. I am a pharmacist. I work as senior forecasting and quantification officer. My experience with Empower was rewarding, I am very happy to be able to complete the course Global Health Procurement and Supply Chain Management because it's a challenge to be encouraged. Thank you all staff involved.
Thank you very much. Merci. And I hear a French accent. De quel pays?
Haiti.
Haiti. Okay, welcome. So it's very early in the morning
Thanks.
for you. Okay, it's now 7 in the morning. Okay, welcome. Next,
Then we have Daniel
Joshua.
Joshua. Please share your experience.
Okay, hello.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Daniel.
Yes, greetings. My name is Daniel. I'm a pharmacist, 25 years of age. I literally joined this course immediately after I graduated, as it was suggested by Professor Kaale. So it's a privilege being part of the graduates, the people who graduate, and all the every person who has an opinion, opposition to join up the course. I really suggest he joins because there are a lot of things which we learn, the things which we either gain or some of them we do them out of habit, but it empower with the evidence you collected and you share with us. It makes us understand how to do them correctly and in a good way. So I'm just I'm just grateful that I've finished, and I really recommend this course to all the people who want to join up and jump in global health. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Which country?
I'm from Tanzania, Zanzibar. I'm Zanzibar Island, Tanzania.
We just finished our training for the Ministry of Health in Tanzania. And this was on leadership in supply chain, and the project will continue till the end of the year. And this was last week that we completed it. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
So next we have Devson Zivri Kun Zero. I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Please share your experience.
Nice, thank you so much. I'm Devson Shirikunzeno. I'm the Procurement and Logistics Officer for Ministry of Health and Child Care, National TB Program under Global Fund in Zimbabwe. It is my pleasure to be part of this ceremony, and I really appreciate the administration for this course, especially for the patients. I just joined the Ministry of Health 2 years ago, of which I was a bit green in the supply chain for health system, of which I understand and believe this course improved greatly my appreciation of the service delivery in the health system. And it is my hope that it will go a long way in improving the service delivery of the health system in Zimbabwe and my career personally. I really appreciate and I would like to congratulate all colleagues here present for attaining this certificate. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, Davison. Wonderfully expressed. Next, please.
Next we have Ibod Ading Legul. Could you please share your experience?
Let's move on and we come back.
Then we have Emmanuel Savado, I guess.
Savadogo.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm so sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Please share your experience.
Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Okay. Hello.
Yes, Emmanuel, please go ahead. We can hear you.
My name is Emmanuel Sawadugo from Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. I'm a pharmacist. I'm working at CAMEC, which is the central medical store of the country. I would like first to thank to all the students, teachers, parents, and the staff who made this graduation possible. Every one of you have made an impact of the graduate who sit here today. I'm also thankful to Empower for giving me the opportunity to participate in the course, and I feel very lucky to be taught by experienced trainers. The course is well organized and structured, and the staff is really quick to respond to all the queries. I would like to say thank to Ms. Priya and to Professor Andy. Also thank to Dr. Isaka Sunday, which encouraged me to participate in this course. So best wishes to Empower School of Health. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Again, being a native French speaker, you've taken it in English, so congratulations. I wish my French was so good to take a course in French. Wonderful. Next.
Okay, next we have Hitimana. Could you please share? Could you please share, Eugene Hitimana? Could you please share your feedback?
Go ahead, next.
Then we have Florencia.
Moise, Florencia Moise.
Good afternoon, Florencia Moisés. Good afternoon. My name is Florencia Moisés. I am from Mozambique. I work for Global Health Supply Chain PSM as AJV advisor. First, I would like to thank God for giving me strength and determination to do this course. I thank my family, friends, and colleagues for their motivation. And additionally, I would like to say thank you to Empower School and all the team of Empower School for your support and assistance on the course. The main challenge that I faced in the course was because English is not my official language. My language is Portuguese, and I had some difficult sometimes to understand some contents, but despite this challenge, I managed to finish the course, and I feel very happy with this achievement. Thank you, Empower School. Thank you, all colleagues. Thank you, Priya. It was a very good experience for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your words.
Thank you very much, Florencia. That's very kind. Please.
Okay, next we have Privat. So could you please pronounce this name? I mean,
Hyacinth. It's French, I guess. Hyacinth, Privat, and Tindra Biogo. Now we ask the student to please pronounce it correctly for us and teach us.
Hello, you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Hello. Okay, thank you, Professor Lavrovny. I'm Yassan Priva Chandrabego. I'm a pharmacist from Burkina Faso. I was 9 years of progressive accomplishment leading PSM operation and project management with activities initiative for NGOs and government. For my journey and Empower, what a journey for me who comes from a French-speaking country. A friend recommended schools to me, and at the beginning, I was very apprehensive given my level in English. I even almost gave up on the first modules because I had to listen the slide 2 or 3 times to understand. Then as I progress through the modules, everything become clear, easier, and more digestible. For me, I got twofold benefit: to improve my English and now I obtained my postgraduate diploma in global health supply chain management. I received a lot and learned a lot from you. A big thanks for the great work done. Thank you and good win to all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your very kind words. And well, you know, Professor Andy's English is always challenging for everyone to listen to. So even I have to listen to him 2 or 3 times to understand him. So no problem that you also struggle. And my English also improved because of Andy.
Just at beginning, Thank you.
I know.
Okay, the course is now available in French language, so for any colleagues, we have
now I'm
French language
I'm
course.
expert in English.
Yes, exactly. And we did not charge twice for English and for PSM, only for PSM. All right. Thank you so much. That's very kind. Go ahead, Priya.
So next we have Joseph Musavli. Please share your experience.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Can you hear me?
Perfectly, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I'm Joseph Mwasambili from Tanzania. I'm a pharmacist, and I once regional pharmacist in one of the regions in Tanzania, supervising more than 230 health facilities. I was overseeing all those health facilities in the region before transferring to the zone office. Now I'm a zonal coordinator overseeing over 5 regions, more than 500 health facilities and healthcare workers. My appreciation is when I joined this cause, we were already engaging in bottom-up quantification, whereby these health facilities have to initiate their forecast for our national quantification. And unfortunately, that was so much help for me because this started last year, and now we're in the second phase, the second year of bottom-up quantification. And this helped to improve so much in those areas of quantification and health commodity management at large. And I appreciate this cause and hope we have more inputs and more updates in these areas as we go on. So much thanks to the all administration of Empower. Congratulations to my fellow students. And I can say thank you very much and hope we'll be working together. And I'm happy. Last 2 weeks, Empower has now introduced in our country, Tanzania. And I was among the trainees. Yeah, I was among the trainees, which the workshop which was done at Dodoma. And so I'm so happy. This and hope we'll be together for so long. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joseph. Small world. So you see, and this is something to connect not only to Joseph but to everybody else. We've been asked by Global Fund to build the capacity and create e-learning courses for the Ministry of Health in Tanzania in supply chain, in addition to build the leadership capacity of senior members of people in PSM. So this project will continue, and Joseph, we will come back to you, one of our another graduates who is now also one of our consultants in Tanzania, Gladness, whom you met already. I will ask her to coordinate with you as we design and develop new courses for Tanzania, which can also be available globally, and these will be free of cost for everyone. Okay, so thank you for that. Very happy to know that you are one of our graduates and you were in the group as well. Great.
Thank you.
Juliet Sitoi, please, you're next.
Hello, my name is Juliette Sitoy. I work as M&E manager at the Global Health Supply Chain Chemonics project in Mozambique. My experience with Empower was very positive. I have learned a lot with this postgraduate diploma course. I have been working in supply chain for 5 years now, but I had no formal training in supply chain or logistics. This course helped me to have a deep understanding of how the entire supply chain works. The course content is very relevant and timely. The lesson with plenty of reading material, the fact that the case studies were taken from developed of countries with characteristics that are very similar to our own country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Juliet, how come your English is so good if you're from Mozambique?
I didn't feel that it's very good, but thank you.
It's excellent. It's excellent. Thank you. All right. So we will be back to you every time we need to work in Portuguese and English, because we are making courses for USAID and other countries in English, in Portuguese, English, French, Spanish. So if we need someone for Portuguese and they understand English, we might come to you for some support. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We have Kagombe Umar.
Thank you so much, Professor Paul, and the rest of the team. I'm very privileged and honored to be here today. I'm very excited to have achieved this milestone. It's not been a very easy ride. Personally, I enrolled in this course in December 2018. I was meant to complete last year in 2019. I had a few challenges here and there. I lost a job. I couldn't meet my financial obligations. I want to thank the team, Priya, for the support and encouragement and the continuous, communication that we kept going. I was able to plug in again and complete the course. I'm very, very excited. I am a pharmacist in Uganda, and I kindly request that you correct. I think it was indicated that I'm from Tanzania. I'm from Uganda, and I've worked with the government hospital before. The early part of my career when I qualified as a pharmacist. And later on, for the bigger part of my career, I've been working as a pharmacist in community pharmacy practice, and also a little bit of pharmaceutical sales and marketing. Currently, I work with Medical Access Uganda Limited. I'm very sure Professor knows about this, Medical Access in Uganda. Currently, I'm not working in supply chain department. I'm in another department of business development, but I'm very hopeful now with this knowledge that I've acquired. I'm ready to plug into this career. One of the reasons I wanted to pursue this course was to consider a career in PSM, and I'm now perfectly qualified to pursue this now. Thank you so much for the wonderful experience. Thank you so much, Priya, for the support. The course was really, really an exciting course, very insightful. The case studies, oh my God, gave me experience from different countries and all that. That was for me the best experience ever. So congratulations to my colleague, and thank you so much once again.
Thank you. Thank you, Kagombe. That's very kind of you. And we have also, this is for you and for everybody else, we have teamed up with many pharmaceutical societies or logistics organizations in various countries across Africa, so that we can provide even more support through through the supply chain associations and pharmaceutical councils and associations, since many of you are pharmacists as well. Okay, you'll hear more from us. Congratulations, Kagombe, for coming back and completing your challenge. Wonderful. Andy, I'll have you now go on, take the names from here.
Okay, we got Kemu Abubakar Ishobiza. If you're available, please. Kemu Abubakar.
Okay, next we come back.
Hello, hello.
Okay.
Ah, yes, yes.
Sorry, I was muted. I did not realize that.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yes, my name is Kaimu Abubakar Ishobeza. I'm from Tanzania. I'm working with the UNHCR. I'm the father of 2 daughters and 3 sons. And I've been working in PSM profession since maybe more than 20 years. But in pharmaceutical industry, I started in 2016. So I have like 4 years now within UNHCR. I would like to thank my experience with the Empower was positive, and whenever I had any problem, I got an assistance from either Professor Andy or Priya. I never contacted Professor Paul, but I hope I did not need you by then, so that's why I did not contact you. But I was happy to get assisted with the Empower assisted management. And initially, when actually I was introduced this course by supervisor, my supervisor encouraged me to pursue this course. Although initially I thought I could not manage, but later on I managed. Although initially it was a little bit challenging to combine job responsibility and also this management of time in order to make this happen. But finally, I achieved it, and I'm very happy for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. 5 children. You're a brave man.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, fantastic. Thank you, Kaimu.
Okay.
And I want, again, message for everybody, and you'll keep notice that we'll be announcing both in English and French a webinar in leadership, and for you to help identify your leadership style. It will be led by the director, Empower's director for Center for Leadership, and it will happen in about 15 days time for English and 15 days time for French and about 30 days time for English. So please stay tuned, no cost, and you will learn a lot from this as well. Okay, next.
Okay, Marie-Shirley Villefranche.
Greeting all. I am Shirley Villefranche from Haiti. I really appreciate this PSM capacity building opportunity offered to us by Empower School. A nurse by profession, I have a master's degree in health services administration, and I have 14 years professional experience in capacity building, FPMCH commodities management, National Authority for Medicine, community health, and survey. I am an active member of Essential Medicine Selection Committee. It was my first experience of online English course. It was very interesting and challenging. I take this moment to testify that this training has not only improved my skill and professional capacity, but also contributed to the increasement of my performance in the coordination of supply chain network and MOH supports. I address my thanks to the staff of Empower, especially Priya, Chemonix, my family and colleagues, and congratulations all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very nicely spoken, Marie. Thank you very much. If you are so eloquent in English, I wonder how good you are in French. Thank you. Please say hello to our friends over there. As you know, our Empower Supply Chain champion is Florence, and we had distributed that as well. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Merci, Ruben.
Hello.
Greetings.
Greetings. My name is Mercy Ruben with 13 years experience on supply chain industry. I want to thank you, Empower School of Health, for the tremendous education. Has been a nice opportunity to learn with you. This course will sharpen my profession to a great impact of my career. I enjoyed the teaching methodology, flexibility, but also I recommend this course to anyone who wants to pursue a career in this field. But all in all, I want to thank you, my family, and everyone from Empower School of Health. Thank you.
Mercy, from which country?
From Tanzania. Sorry.
Tanzania also. Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. We have a big contingency from Tanzania. I think that's already 3 or 4. Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. Mickelson Joseph Ville.
Greetings. My name is Mickelson Joseph Ville. I'm from Haiti. I'm a software engineer. During the past 10 years, I've worked in the field of community health and community development, both as a M&A officer and project manager assistant. I also have 2 years of experience with Chemonix as performance M&A officer in the supply chain and PSM field, which is my first experience in this field. Over the past 12 months, I've had the opportunity to take this course and take the advantage of this great partnership between Empower School and Chemonix, and finally obtain as a great achievement this postgraduate diploma in global health supply chain management. It was a wonderful journey and a great experience, and I've learned a lot from your methodology, your approach, your know-how, and all the technical, academic, and all the aspects covered and followed by this course. I've particularly liked the rational use of medicine, which was my favorite one, and which I think is the focal or one of the most important points of the overall PSM life cycle. I would ask for, and hopefully Empower will in the future offer for a degree in this field on this course, as well like a master's degree. Finally, I want to thank God, my family and colleagues. Thank you, Priya, for all your support. Thanks to all the professors, and thanks to Empower's faculty team. Again, congrats to all my fellow students and graduates.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That was very special. And which country, Mickelson?
Haiti.
Haiti.
From Haiti as well. Okay, yeah. Software engineer. Did I hear you correctly?
Yeah, software engineer.
You're a very brave man to go French-speaking software engineer and finding rational use of medicine, which is a very pharmacy topic, as your favorite topic.
Yeah, that's
fantastic. Good. Okay, no, this is good to know. And in fact, combining software engineering with, we've had logistics managers, lawyers, finance people. I think you're the first software engineer to take this course. That is very good. And in fact, since we are talking about e-learning and digital learning, and now also you talked about community participation, how do we bring e-learning to the community at the last mile? Because this is very difficult. And this is what we are working with. And for this, we need software engineers and also hardware engineers as well. So thank you. We might be in touch again to see how we can expand this to the last mile or the frontline workers in the community in Haiti also. Okay, thank you.
Okay, we change now then please to Mohammed Joanna.
Yeah, good morning all, colleagues, tutors. I want to start by saying thanks to God and to prayer for the support given to us throughout this course. Congratulations also to all my colleagues and to the tutors I know it has been a back and forth movement throughout the course, and that has been very helpful, though we had some challenges, which is part of life. Actually, for me, when I started working with UNICEF in 2015, I learned that one of the health objectives of the organization was to optimize key supply chain issues with government for targeted health products and to be in locations to reduce costs, stock out and waste management, to improve performance and help delivery of results for children. So as a health professional, I am a public health specialist. My current position, I am the health and nutrition officer for UNICEF in one of the field offices. I sat and started thinking, how can I do this job? Looking at the objective and the set activities, I realized practically I can start doing something, but I think I need a theoretical background as well as a strong academic record. So I looked through and I discussed with friends, and finally I get to know about Empowered School of Health. And I realized it's an institution of charisma and high respect within the discussions in Sierra Leone. So I decided I think I need to go in for this. So when I started, I realized that most of my inputs in the activities supported by UNICEF, I realized I could actually give concrete and vivid support in several distributions of the free healthcare supplies, right from districts to peripheral health units within 6 districts where I supervise within the south and eastern regions of Sierra Leone. I have also supported several resource mapping to replenish stock for commodities and even the last mile distribution. UNICEF we have a Rapid Pro initiative that actually looks at supporting the last mile to ensure that health commodities reach the last mile. It's a messaging tool that we use. We send, it's a hub that we use to send messages to health workers at field level, that when they receive supply, they get back to the system, they report that they have these and these of the items were broken, or these items were in good quality. Then we can also get to know easily items that are in health facilities, but that they are very, very close to expiring. So we help track most of these things. Then finally also, the case study to me was very enriching. I would like to say the course was very helpful. One of the modules I admired so much and I grew to love was the quantification. I actually got back to it after completing the course to download most of the slides. To me, it was very helpful. I thank you all very much and helping us to be part of the PSM Academy. And I hope we can continue this network as we go along. I thank you all very much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Very kind of you. Next, please.
Okay. Mohammad Freshat Meji.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Mohammad Freshat Meji from Mozambique. I am a software engineer too. So I'm happy. It was an honor to take this course because it made me understand how the supply chain works from planning to distribution. I work to Chemonix, to a PSM project in Mozambique as an OpenLMS advisor. OpenLMS is an open source platform designed as a logistic management system to help to manage a medicine in income countries. Mozambique used this solution for medicine management in health facility level. Before I take this course, my knowledge about supply chain was very limited. With this postgraduate, I gained greater understanding about the project that I am inserted, and it helped me to increase my level of abstraction to develop some new feature or report on the system that I work with. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and I recommend more people to join this course to help our country to minimize the cost spent to purchase medicines. Thank you, and congratulations to other graduates. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mohammad. Very kind. So we have 2 software engineers. Now this is wonderful. Okay, so we are expanding into other areas. Thank you. Next.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, Musa Megari Lawal. Musa Megari Lawal. Need to unmute if you unmute. Ah, there we are.
Good day, everyone.
Musa, because you are signed in, I think from 2 different devices, it might make that noise. Just check. If you use your phone and your computer, it can make the noise. You can switch one off and then speak. Go ahead.
Good. I'm so sorry. Good afternoon, colleagues.
Good afternoon. We can hear you.
Hello, colleagues.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hello. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Please continue.
Not sure if he can hear us. Somebody send him a chat message and he can sign on through another device. Okay, let him know that we could hear him, but he could not hear us. Let's move on.
Okay. Nikeze Julius Kenko.
Hello, everyone.
Greetings.
Thank you very much. I am Nkese Julius Kenko from Cameroon. I'm a pharmacy technician with 13 years of working experience, and I work with the Cameroon Baptist Convention Health Services. I joined this course thanks to Mr. Wango Francis, who is the country representative of Empower in Cameroon, a close friend of mine and a former colleague in the Cameroon Baptist Convention Health Services. The course was actually a challenging one, using cutting-edge technology to reach out to people who can't have the time to stop work and go back to the classroom and sit there 100%. And during the course, I had a couple of challenges because I was working as a worker, a father, a husband, a student in about 2 other institutions, because I'm a student in the Pan-African Institute for Development West Africa and the UNICAF University, Zambia, online still. So I had to sacrifice a lot, going home late because of the program. But thank God that today I can see the fruit of the labor for a couple of years. During the program, we had to learn a couple of challenging scenarios. I could remember some scenarios that Professor Andy brought for countries like Botswana, which do not exist anywhere on planet Earth. And it was quite challenging. You could see scenarios there that are very much similar or identical to what we can face in places like Cameroon, where I work for the past 13 years. And honestly, it was really a good program. As I started the course, I started application of the knowledge gained immediately. We had to improve on our quantification and stock management, though along the line we could face challenges with the storage space. And so while we optimize quantification, we also want to take into account the storage space where we keep the health commodities. As we are graduating today, is quite an exciting experience, and we look forward to collaborating and coordinating with others. And we also look forward to December. I remember Professor Paul promised about the second part of the program to be launched in December, so that we can complete and have a master's degree in supply chain, probably here with specialization in supply chain. We look forward to that, and very exciting to also have that experience come on. As we also wrap up, we desire to stay connected, continue the network with the other graduates in the various countries so that at each time we share challenges and get contributions from everywhere, and we move along, because it is not a one-man thing. It is actually everybody putting hands together, and we can arrive at the end. Thanks to God, thanks to Professor Andy, thanks to Priya all the time, and thanks to Wango Francis, who could support me in the background, though not offshore, and everybody, you know, could actually see me go ahead. You drop a mail to Professor Andy, the next minute you have a reply. I thank you very much. I'm a father of 3, all daughters, and I'm very proud of this day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's beautiful. Thank
Indeed,
you. You're a
many
very
thanks.
brave man. Very brave man.
Okay, next, please. Okay. It is Zoya Mafesa.
Mute. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It's 1:55 in my country, so I don't know where everybody else is right now. My name is Ntuwa Esa from Lesotho. I realized I'm the only one from my country in here. I'm a mother of 2. I'm a widow, and being a widow, I thought I would never set a foot in school because of the challenges of that and being a parent as well. But here I am today, and I'm super proud. And I'd like to thank everyone at Empower, but mostly Priya. I think I frustrated her a lot, especially lately, because my things were not going well, and I was sending her email after email, but she was very patient and very responsive, and I really, really appreciate that. And secondly, I would really, really love to appreciate my children who were patient enough to give mommy time when it was time to study. And my daughter actually is the one who encouraged me to go to school, because at times we would talk, she would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I told her when I was younger, I wanted to be a doctor, but things changed. So one day she came back from school and she said, "Mommy, guess what? Teacher told us that old people can also still study online while they're also still working." So I didn't want to disappoint my daughter, and I had to do something. And I'm very grateful for that. But also because just 2 years ago, I joined the supply chain department in my country. I work as a logistics officer under the PSM project by Chemonix. So I had to build capacity to do my work well. So here I am. Thank you. My experience with this course has been very enlightening, meeting everyone from their different countries and getting their experiences, and learning from Professor Andy as well has been very enlightening, and I have been able to see development in my capacity at work. And also just this morning, I received email from my supervisor that I have improved a lot. So that means a lot to me, and that means this course really worked for me, and I'm grateful for that. I would like to keep in touch with everyone moving forward. Thank you.
Okay, many thanks.
Thank you. That is very special indeed. Just want to mention a wonderful story to see that. How old are your daughters, by the way, the ones that encouraged you?
My daughter is 11.
Isn't it wonderful when 11-year-olds are guiding their parents already? That's fantastic.
I know.
Thank you. Thank you. Yours are guiding you. My 15-year-old son is telling me what to do. So so that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. It's very powerful. Okay. Next.
Novaje présente.
Hello, everyone. I take this opportunity. Hello, everyone.
Yes, please continue.
I take this opportunity to thank the management of Empower School of Health, more especially to professors, our coordinator Priya, for the coordination that we had. It was really an interesting journey since we started the course and completed. My appeal to Empower School of Health is to do more advocacy, to advocate for especially to donors that do fund health care programs like CDC, USAID, and others, to ensure that the supply chain the supply chain positions are occupied by people who are with training like this, so that there is value for money for the funding that they do. Once again, I thank everyone, and I am so grateful for I'm so grateful that I'm part of this event. I wish everyone success after I request everyone to use the knowledge that we obtain to contribute to change in the supply chain across the globe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. You made a very important point, which is how we can encourage and communicate with the donors globally and with the institutions to encourage their staff to take these courses. And we continue to do that at the global level, but at the national level, it's really important that we continue with your support to promote the word of mouth. And as many of you mentioned, your friends recommended it, or your organization recommended it. So to expand and continue to support you and others like you, while we work at the global level, we request you to work at your level, at the grassroots level, at both the organizational and the individual level as well. So thank you for reminding us of that, Mr. Crescent. Okay. Next.
Okay. Onana tadi bienvenue. Bienvenue.
Thank you. I mean, thank you very much. You hear me? Good.
Yes, perfectly. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I am Onana Tade Bienvenue from Cameroon, Minister of Public Health, Emergency Operations Center. The course was a great experience and exciting moments during which I had a new vision of the health product supply chain management. It allowed me to boast a new dynamic of logistics at the Public Health Emergency Operations Center, especially during the response to COVID-19. So I have to thank Professor Andy and Professor Paul Avani for the support. It was not easy for me to complete my finance case study in context of COVID, because I was fully involved in the response of COVID-19 as emergency supply chain manager. But finally, I did it good, very good. But I have to thank God and thank my wife. Thank you very much, everyone, for the support. Thank you, Priya. Good. Thank you.
Well done, Onana. Congratulations.
Aishal Nisumoko.
Congratulations, everyone. My name is Rachel Musumuko Muyoma. I'm a pharmacist and I work as operations manager at Medical Stores Limited. It's an institution that is at the heart of storage and distribution of health commodities in Zambia. And my experience with the program has been not just a learning one, but what it did, it really sparked optimism in me for the future of the health commodity supply chain. It talked about practical issues, things that we face day to day, and just engaged us to think through how we can provide a better service to our community. The greatest take home that I that I had from this program was the emphasis. I think Prof. Andy talked about it over and over again, how we need to effectively communicate supply chain information so that decision makers are influenced to help make the changes that will be positive for this sector. Just a big thank you to the Empower team. A thank you to my director logistics, Ilitongo Sasa Sonda. She was also graduating. A big thank you to my family, my husband, and my friends, and to everyone, congratulations.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. That's very kind of you. And in fact, the workshop that we did on behalf of Global Fund in Tanzania was exactly that. It was a group that included the Secretary of Health. It was supposed to include the Minister of Health as well. He was not there, and many other senior professionals in the country, some of whom are, as you heard, in this graduating class as well. And the focus was exactly that. How do we communicate to the highest level the importance of supply chain, to the importance of how to budget accurately and appropriately for supply chain? What is that level? What is that amount? What are the often hidden costs if you don't do it right? And how it could impact? How can you preemptively manage the entire procurement and supply chain and think of it from a strategic point of view? So that's wonderful. That is one of the take-home messages, and Andy has reminded that to us again and again, that this function is no longer a function that's often subordinated to HIV, TB, or malaria, but it is a cross-cutting vital function without which nothing can happen. No change can happen. So that's good to hear. All right, and we all need to carry that message. Thank you. Next.
Okay. Ratsovo Hove.
Greetings to you all. My name is Ratizo Hove. I'm a pharmacist who's acting as a yes. I'm Ratizo Hove, pharmacist from Zimbabwe, acting as a logistics officer. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Empower for such a program, which was really informative. This course has widened my knowledge in terms of supply chain, and it will help a long way in improving supply chain systems in Zimbabwe. Many thanks to Empower and the Ministry of Health for awarding me such an opportunity. I would like to thank God, family, and friends for the support during the course. Congratulations, my colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Ratitso. That's very kind. Been many times to Harare and met your team and team members over there. I will come back soon. Thank you. Next.
Okay.
Raymond Matthews. No, no Raymond. Okay, we move on then, please. Rose Katia Jean-Baptiste.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Rose Katia Jean-Baptiste. I'm from ED. I'm a pharmacist with 22 years in quantification, managing drugs. I work with commemorate for 4 years as manager of quantification team. Before the end of this course, I've been moved to UNDP, where I work now as PSM expert. Learning with Empower was amazing and exciting. I really liked the way that the models were made. I hope I will have the opportunity to apply this new knowledge, first of all, in my country, maybe in everywhere in the world. I would say thank you to my family, especially with my sister, my husband, my children, and thank you for all of you, the staff of Empower, and especially for Priya, for this assistance. Thank you, and I will congratulate of my colleague to her graduation. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. That's wonderful. By the way, I just want everybody to know, so you're prepared. At the end of the graduation, we invite everyone to bring their family members to the screen, keep your videos on, and so we all get to see each other, and we will play some music. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it through the channel so that we can actually celebrate and enjoy this graduating event. So let your family members know to be on standby and bring all your treats and drinks and whatever else that's needed. Okay, next please.
Rosemary Kanfua.
Stop the phone,
Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello? Can you
Please,
hear me?
yes, please go ahead, Rosemary. We can hear you.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello?
Rose, yeah, can you hear us?
Hello?
No. Priya, can you please send her a message saying that she can't hear us?
Sorry, I can't be heard.
You can tell her to, in fact, we can ask her to continue speaking though.
Yes,
Send
sir,
her a
I'm doing
message.
that. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Please ask her to please continue.
Yes, my name is Rosemary. Thank you. I'm afraid I'm getting a lot of problems with getting onto the video.
No problem.
Hello?
I'll ask her to continue without
Okay,
video.
let me try again. Let me try to connect with the computer video.
Okay. Let's go to the next.
Salamatu Dumbuya.
Hello, my name is Salimatu Dumbuya. I'm a pharmacist from Sierra Leone.
Hello. Hello.
Can I go ahead?
Can you hear me?
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, just a second. Okay, yes, please go ahead now.
Okay. Salimatu Dumbuya from Sierra Leone. I'm a pharmacist in Sierra Leone. I used to work at the Directorate of Drugs and Medical Supplies, and also the National AIDS Secretariat. And now I'm currently working at UNFPA as the National RHCS Specialist. I learned about this course through my supervisor at the National AIDS Secretariat. She was just concluding this course at the time. And by then I made a silent note that I'll also have to do this course to improve my capacity on supply chain management. And my experience through the course, it was interesting, exciting, and also challenging. I'd like to thank Priya for her support and encouragement throughout the course, and also the entire Empower team. You were always there to respond to any questions or any information that we needed at the time. Thank you so much, everyone. And congratulations to my colleagues. It has been a wonderful experience. And I can confidently say that through this Empower course that I've just concluded, my capacity has been developed and I'm able to perform better at my role at UNFPA. Thank you so much, all.
Thank you very much. In fact, on that note, Andy is in the process, because we've got some requests to create a sub-module of PSM for family planning and reproductive health and supply chain related courses as well, so that in addition to a general course, we have some special courses as well for HIV, TB, malaria, family planning, and others as well. So please stay tuned as we start to release those. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, please.
Salvatore Sindagia Gaya.
Yes, please.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. My name is Salvatore Sindaigaya. I am from Burundi, and I'm working with the Global Health Supply Chain PSM Chemonix in Burundi as a senior supply chain manager. My experience with Empower School of Health started in 2017, where one of my colleagues, when I was in the Ministry of Health, was graduated at this course. So he told us that we should also apply. And then 2019, I think I applied, and I learned that this course is very, very interesting. It's a very interesting course and very important in supply chain and management, and also in the PSM in the global health supply chain. I realized that this course is very interesting and very important. So with this graduation day, I would like to thank the Empower staff, especially Priya for her assistance her everyday assistance. And also I wanted to congratulate all my fellow students and graduates to have achieved this milestone. It is a very interesting milestone that every one of us has achieved till now. I wanted also to dedicate this certificate or this diploma to all staff of the Empower Health School, and also to my family. As I have one wife and 2 children, I dedicate this diploma to them. Thank you.
Okay, many thanks indeed.
Wonderful. Thank you. So your wife and children, I hope they helped you answer some of the MCQs and the multiple choice questions, if you're going to dedicate to them.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
Okay, moving along to Tapiwa Jacob Mutsiwa. Tapiwa Jacob Mutsiwa. Okay, let's move along, please, to the next, and we'll come back if we can find them. Tendai Zimbowa. Tendai. Okay, again, we'll move on then, please. Terence John Antonio.
So, good day, everyone. I'm Terence John Antonio from the Philippines. I'm a physician by profession. I used to work in the province of Northern Samar to improve the supply chain management of the province, but currently I'm working at the Department of Health under the Health Facility Development Bureau. So my journey with the Empower School of Health has been really a challenge since I entered the school during my transition from my previous work at the provincial hospital to the central office. So, but I think the learning environment that the school provided allowed leeway for me to adjust to my new work without sacrificing the quality of education the school provided. So with the training in Empower School of Health, I'm confident to become an advocate of good procurement and supply chain management practice at the national level, and at the same time to provide technical assistance to different health facilities in the Philippines as well. to improve their system for supply chain management. So again, I'm very grateful to be part of this school. I'm thankful especially to Priya because of I've been bombarding her with a lot of emails for the past few months. And congratulations to all of our fellow graduates as well. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Terence. That's very kind. I should also share with you that last month we jointly launched, along with Ministry of Health, the World Bank, WHO, USAID, a course on e-learning and COVID management, which was developed in very rapid time because of the emergency support that everybody needed. So now that we have you as one of our alumni and also one of our, let's say, good wishes, we'll continue to coordinate with you, and I'll ask my team to be in touch with you as well. All right. Thank you, Terence.
Thank you.
Vishal Gajwani.
Vishal, we see you, but we don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a bit louder, please, almost.
Yeah, so now it's fine.
Just about. If you could come closer to the microphone.
Hello. Yeah. Is it fine?
Still very soft.
Yeah. Vishal, you may want to try and reconnect and
Yeah,
try the microphone.
Is it better? No?
Yes, perfect. Continue.
Yeah. So thank you for giving me opportunity, and first of all, congratulations to all of us for completing one of the exciting and very interesting course, which give us opportunity to learn about the procurement and supply chain management with a special focus on the global health. And myself, Vishal Gajwani, I'm basically a chemical engineer and management graduate, but working in pharmaceutical industry. I work with Sanofi, particularly in the vaccine business. So I'm into marketing and business development, but it is always I was closely working with supply chain team because vaccine we supply to the UNICEF and various stakeholders like WHO, Gavi, UNICEF, and other stakeholders. So it was very interesting for me to learn about. I was always looking for some course which is give me a very closer look into the customer perspective, like how the quantification and how the supply chain works at the customer end, because it's a public health thing. And we were, as a supplier, I always want to put myself into the shoes of customer, how they decide on the quantities of vaccine, how they manage the supply chain, how the procurement happens, and so those all I could have able to learn about from this course, particularly about the supply chain and all the things managed at the near to the last up to the last mile. And I would like to thank Empower School of Health and especially Professor Lalwani and Professor Andy, and especially to Priya that for the continuous support for completing this course and all the support they provided. And in terms of family, I have my wife and 2 kids. Overall, it's a very enriched and very good experience having this course. Thank you very much.
Hey, many thanks.
Thank you very much, Vishal. Sorry, I was on mute.
So, Idem Hua. Idem Hua. Okay, let's move on, please.
guess that's it, sir. Is there anyone else who would like to share their experience?
Yeah, let's take it. The ones that could not speak earlier, let's just call those names. I have Gloria as one of them. If you can go back and let's see who starts to speak, and then we would include that as well. Okay, and have them quickly speak. Gloria, I have Gloria, Cindy, Ebote, and a few others. Let's just try them one more time. I know it would be a pity if they can't also communicate. Let's try that. Okay. If you can move back, if you can go back a few slides, see who's ready to speak. Anyone who did not speak the first time is available now. Please send a chat message right now and let's try one by one.
Rosemary, if you can share your feedback. Please unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yes, Rosemary is on.
We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Unfortunately, I can't hear from you. Can you hear me?
Yes, please continue.
I can't hear, but I don't know whether you can
Please
hear me
type.
on the other end.
Priya, please type on her chat.
Okay, thanks.
Yes,
my name is Rosemary. I'm just so happy to have been part of this learning. I'm from Uganda. I work as a consultant on access to treat the pain, doing morphine production in different African countries. My experience with this learning forum has been so great. It perfectly fitted in with some of the works that I've been doing. In the last leg of my study, I was writing a manual for the different African countries for the production of an essential medicines for pain treatment, which was oral liquid morphine, and fitting in very perfectly in the last chapters that we were doing. It really helped me to figure out a lot of things that we had to redo the manual. To date, I'm still working on it. It's been so helpful in the sense that some of the things that I needed to have just gone to research and get, I was actually learning on in class and then being able to apply. So to me, the experience was great, despite the fact that the busy schedule of working between learning as well as working. But I was so grateful because it was a flexi time that I could be able to chip in here and there and work even hours in the night in order to catch up with. But it has been so helpful to me. Thank you, the faculty. Thank you, the classmates. Some discussions I've not been so much into, but when I would follow through, I'll be able to get a lot of input and insight from colleagues. So I am so grateful that it has sharpened me to be even a better professional. Thank you so much. Empower. God bless you.
Next, please.
Thank you.
Next, we have Bran. Could you please unmute yourself and share your experience?
Hi, hi everybody. It's Brian here, Kazingizi, from Zimbabwe. I'm a finance expert working under the Ministry of Health, implementing the Global Fund grants. Apologies, I could not share my experience the first time I had connection problems, but thanks to my beautiful wife, I managed to reconnect again. My experience, it was quite a beautiful journey, I can say, from being a finance expert, you know how it is working when you are used to IFRS, IFRS, and ACCA. You are used to accounting principles, and now you have to learn about essential medicines list. It was quite interesting, but I would like to thank my colleague from Tanzania. His name is Ali Kilino. He inspired me a lot when I was still working for the local fund agent at PwC. We did a stock verification exercise together at one point in time. So it was very interesting and inspired me. So when I got the chance to actually enroll with Empower, it was a life experience. We had some challenges, you know how it is working like now with the COVID, you have to work from home. You want to do your presentations, you want to do your e-learning, and you have work, you have family. It was quite a challenge, but we thank God everything went well. Thanks, Priya, and thanks, Andy. I loved your voice on the presentations. It was beautiful. And Priya, thank you very much for accommodating us each time we had to come through with our challenges, the extensions, and so forth. Thank you very much, guys, and congratulations to everybody. All the best in your future endeavors. Bye.
Thank you very much. Brim, keep your family close by. We will invite all of them in a few minutes. Priya, anybody else for the moment, or do we move on? I know it's getting late and people would like to continue as well.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Who is this?
Congratulations. My name is Musa Maigari Lawal from Nigeria.
Please
I want to
continue. We can hear you. We can hear you now.
I want to apologize for the mix-up. I actually was trying to mitigate the internet connectivity issues by having two appliances
No problem.
on. Apparently, I had a negative feedback. I work with UNICEF Nigeria Country Office as supply and logistics consultant. I joined UNICEF sometimes in 2014, just at the time the Ebola pandemic was just subsiding. I joined as a hard-to-reach consultant for a Bill and Melinda Gates sponsored a program in 2 states of the northern Nigeria, Kaduna and Katsina. That spanned through 2014 to 2016. Thereafter, we had another funding from the government of Canada, Global Affairs Canada, to escalate and scale up the hard-to-reach extension, hard-to-reach program in 4 additional states. And in the course of that, I got talking with my colleague who is another supply and logistics officer with UNICEF, Mr. Benedict. He introduced me to this program, and then on, I found it I went through the brochure and I found it very relevant, and I thought it would be a value addition because my background is agriculture, even though my professional exposure has been business logistics. But my adventure into UNICEF was my first time into development logistics. So I needed to have the technical classroom structured educational background, and Empower School of Health came in quite handy. But unfortunately, in the course of my course, I was engaged in the humanitarian intervention in the Northeast, that is the Boko Haram ravaged northern eastern region. I was fully involved in the activity, and that caused a lot of bottleneck, and mine was such of a bumpy ride, and that caused a delay in my completing this course. However, I want to thank the course administrators, particularly Professor Lalvani and Professor Andy, for the concept, the detailing, the course structure, the course content, the module, the application, the simplified approach, the practical hands-on experience we had, the case studies which addresses critical issues that are practically encountered in the course of our service. So I want to commend you for the design of the modules, which I found very interactive, very resourceful, and very impactful. And again, to Priya, I want to honestly thank you for your patience. You are always available, both on WhatsApp, by email. You respond to every of our requests. So I am so glad that I'm one of the successful graduates today on the achievement of this landmark milestone in the development of our career. And I'm glad to say that I'm going to spread the word that Empower School of Health is a postgraduate institution of global health procurement to belong to. Thank you very much, as I'm happy to be an alumni of this great institution. Thank you so much, professors.
Thank you very much, Musa. Thank you for your very kind words. And we'll speak more about this later and your work in very challenging environments as well. I've never worked in the northeast of Nigeria. Andy and myself have both worked in Kabul. We've worked in Yemen and some other places, but we know the challenges that you must have faced to work in the in a Boko Haram area in the northeast. Very, very difficult. Thank you for doing that. Okay. Next, please. Priya, what do you suggest we move on? Yep, Andy, I think you're right. Let's move on to the next part of our presentation.
Okay, then I hand over to you.
I'm here.
Okay, Adam, good.
Yeah,
okay.
Great. I was
Good.
sort of shut up for a minute.
Okay,
Wow.
no problem. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Let me start by giving thanks to the Almighty God who has made this possible. My name is Suwa Jimmy from Nigeria, a pharmacist or a master's degree holder in pharmacology and toxicology, a fellow of the West African Postgraduate College of Pharmacists. Yeah, this particular course has been a quite an awesome experience, an awesome moment passing through Empower School of Health. I have learned several concepts and skills in this course that will go a long way to improving my supply chain skills going forward. It's been a very intensive moment, very committing. It made me to be reshaped and understand the fact that I must accept to be a student fully before I could go through it successfully. So I was reshaped. Lots of reading, referencing tests of knowledge, intermittent quiz, and all that. At the end of it all, I draw a conclusion that the Empower School is actually a window to the supply chain world. And the course itself, I look at it as a key to sustainable supply chain management. And going forward, lots of people are recommended. I've already recommended one while I was on Model 3, who I started, and today my director actually called, say he's interested. Looking at the perception of my entire renewed display of professional tactics, it's been very encouraging. I have been a pharmacist in practice for quite well above 20 years now, but practice in supply chain management over about 10 years in the country, been involved in training of personnel on integrated supply chain management, malaria commodity logistics system. So I practice specifically as a PSM officer in logistics in malaria specific programs. It has been quite rewarding. passing through this school for a moment to prepare myself for a sustainable supply chain officer life going forward. My greatest thanks goes to Prof, who doesn't spend minutes in giving responses to some technical questions, getting me off some levels of confusion, and Professor Paul. And then prayer would never allowed to rest. If you don't have a question, prayer will send a question. Are you okay? It's been quite encouraging. It's been quite encouraging. I really appreciate the entire school, the entire team, and a big congratulations to my colleagues. It doesn't end here; it's the beginning of life. So we need to implement all that we've learned to better the system for sustainable supply chain development in our respective countries. Thank you so very much for this moment. Thank you. Bob?
Idem, thank you. Thank you
Okay.
very much for expressing those words. They mean a lot. I should also share with you, just recently, we launched a webinar with the Ministry of Health of Nigeria, Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria, ARC, University of Jos, and others. So we'll be doing a lot more work in Nigeria with your partners. So please stay tuned and see what we are bringing next. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Eden.
Okay.
All right.
Then I think time to move on to the.
So,
Paul, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So under normal circumstances, what we, which means non-COVID circumstances, we ship to you a graduation box which looks something like this. It will have your certificates, your transcripts, and a few other mementos. Given the challenges that we are facing with couriers, what we might do for the moment is ship the transcripts by themselves, but we will wait until things, we'll send them to you digitally, of course, but in the meantime, it may take a few weeks before you receive it. Priya will keep you updated in terms of exactly what the status is of the logistics. Next, please. So here's the exciting part. If you look at this graduating batch, as Prof. Andy was saying, one of the best, one of the strongest and the hardest working. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of you out of 40 in the highest distinction. Okay, it's fantastic to see all this, and we will we'll be sharing all the details with you later on, and you'll see this too. But it's definitely one of the best that we've seen in the past. Normally there'd been about 2 or 3 or 4. This time there's been 7. Maybe it was the encouragement, maybe it was Priya, maybe it was several other aspects. Let's go to the next slide. Go ahead. So, as many of you said, you know, we don't want this. This is not only do we not want this partnership relationship to end. Let this, as one of you put it very nicely, the end of something is the beginning of another. We close one door, we open another door as well into each other's lives and into each other's, whether it's professional or personal life. I want to share with you what inspired me listening to all the graduates. Some of you talked about, you know, the challenges of, and Andy put it nicely right at the beginning as well. How do you juggle all these elements between work, family, studying? And some of you even mentioned you have 4 or 5 children. Some of you, one of you mentioned that you're a widow while balancing work. You were motivated by your children to continue to study. Some of you dropped out and then returned again to complete the course, even if it took you longer, but you stayed with it. Another person meant, you know, several of you are learning in your non-native language, whether it was French or Portuguese. So the course is challenging enough. E-learning makes it more challenging. Balancing and juggling everything else makes it more challenging. Another language makes it even more difficult. And then some of you come from a finance background or a computer science background or an agricultural background. Again, adding another layer of challenge. So I've been inspired listening to all of you and inspired by the words and the commendation and the suggestions and recommendation you've made. Thank you so much. In return, I also want to mention, as some of you indicated, and I'm asking my IT team and Priya and others to put together, our platform is now ready to bring all our current and former students and alumni into a platform where you can communicate with each other, talk to each other, learn from each other. All right, so we will create an alumni platform for that, and we launch it before the end of October, if not sooner. All right, so Priya, Hitesh, please follow up on that. We talked about the master's course, and the plan is to get it ready by the end of this year. So many of you who've done the postgraduate diploma 1 year, with another year, you should be able to do your master's as well. And some of you would go straight, who are interested in the master's, would go from your bachelor's or your other degrees straight into a 2-year master's as well, all online. So this is being developed as we speak. The career opportunities, and this several of our graduates have supported us, guided us, either as counselors, as ambassadors. And Priya, you can reach out to Priya and Sonia, both of whom are on this platform as well, in terms of what that means and how we work. And several of you have guided other individuals as well, which is fantastic. So we appreciate that. So there's a counselor program and an ambassador program. Then there are opportunities for short-term assignments. Gladness, who's one of our graduates in Tanzania, is working on the project in Tanzania right now. We've got several other such examples in other countries too. And then an internship program. Many of you are young graduates, or you are transitioning from one career to another, or one area of work to another in PSM, and you would like to do an internship digitally, where we give you work to do, which projects we are doing with the Global Fund or WHO or USAID. So this becomes part of your CV. You would work with us for at least 3 months, supporting that particular project, and at the end of that, we give you a letter stating this, and it goes on your CV as well, and we also act as your reference. So this is not the end, this is the beginning, and if in any way we can support you, you can support us. We very much look forward to that collaboration. Next, please. So this seems to be the last slide, and really, thank you very much, and a big hand for all of you. And usually at the end, I request Andy, many of you thank God at the beginning, or besides also thanking your family members and others as well. Andy, if you could bless the gathering and congregation with your warm words, we would really appreciate that. And then we open up to music and laughter.
Okay, so it's a non-denominational blessing. It's not from any particular religion. It's for all religions and those of no faith as well. Go with blessings now. Share the knowledge you have gained. Apply the skills that you have acquired. And as we move forward, we remember with humility and humanity the work that we do. Go forward with our blessing. Good night to everyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Andy.
over to the children.
Amen. Amen.
Indeed.
A big amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. A big amen.
So we can, could I ask Priya to stop sharing the screen for the moment so everybody can see everybody? Okay. Wonderful. You can choose the different views of Zoom. All right. I want you all to invite your family and children so we can see all of them as well. And I'm going to look for some appropriate music. It could be a mix of Bollywood with Nigerian jazz to Zanzibaran music to any of those combinations. Give me a minute while we do that and you bring your family. All right. Not this one. All the family members arriving. All right, let's see how this one is. And tell me if you can hear this. Can you hear it, by the way?
No, no, please.
Let me try this.
WG. Oh yeah, sing is king, this is the thing. Do you know what I mean? Follow me, listen to me for a second, check it.
Can you hear that?
Sing is the king, check the records.
All right. Prof, that's a nice one, Prof.
Cool man, cool man, cool man. That's great.
Yeah, Prof.
Memories. That was great.
So that song is
a
one
great
of the most famous songs in the movie called Sing is King. If you haven't seen it, I recommend all of you to see it. You'll understand about my culture in terms of, in a very fun way. You'll see about the culture. And actually this movie takes you to parts of Africa, Egypt, and back to India as well. So it's very interesting.
Oh, great. Oh, great.
All right, we need, let's have someone from, what music can we share? Someone from maybe Zimbabwe. We want to share some music. And we can hear some from Haiti. All right, let's see who's quick with the sharing of music. And of course, Bob Marley from the Caribbean It's always one of our favorites. I want to see more children and family members, please. Okay. I'm going to zero in on those with the biggest family members in their group. So, who do we have here? I see. So they will have to introduce themselves. I see Antonia has a graduation cap. Well done. You'll have to send it to others as well, so that we can all have our graduation caps.
Exactly.
Great idea. Great idea.
Great idea.
Thank you so much.
We need to come up with a digital app. So while you're sitting there, you know, like how in Facebook, you can have all these filters. So while you're sitting there, there can be a graduation cap on top of you as well, automatically showing up. That's a real one though. I see a lot of people have not, or it's coming slowly, the camera. So Priya or someone, can you identify the one with the most children or family members? We zoom into that and ask them to speak. We ask the children or the spouse to speak. Okay. Brian, why don't you go in? Why don't you start first? Unmute.
My people. Hello?
Yeah, just about. A bit louder.
Okay. This is my beautiful wife here. Patience. That's your name? Yes. This is my niece. That's Nevibo Nene. Say hi. Hi. This is my little sister here. Her name is Beverly. And that's my other sister there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, I wish we could dance for you.
Wait a second. If that's the case, we can organize that.
Oh,
Look at that.
Yeah, that's nice, Brian. That's good.
Love it. Love it. All right. Let's see. Let's find the next family. Florencia Moises. I'm sorry, the name is not pronounced well. I know that.
Hello, I'm Florencia. He's my son, Ishmael. And she's my daughter, Nayara. Say hello. Hello.
Are they going to dance as well?
Yes, yes.
Mas doesn't TikTok What I mean, follow me, listen to me for a second, check it. Sing is the key, check the record.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, who else? Who else has lots of family members? Let's try a couple more. Hitesh, you can organize some. Wait, who's going to organize some music from Africa, since we have a very large African contingency? And there's some fantastic music from, by the way, I spent 10 years in Nigeria. I was married in Nigeria, so I'm half African, by the way. You just can't
Wonderful.
tell. My father, who is 92, is still in Lagos, Nigeria.
Fantastic.
And my brother also.
Great, 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 great.
All right, I'm trying to see, I'm not seeing other family. Anyone volunteers, please volunteer. Introduce your family members.
Antonio.
Unmute and please speak.
It's me, Antonio.
I'm not able to hear.
Antonio.
Yeah, please. Antonia, are you introducing someone?
Yeah, with my son.
Oh, wonderful. How old are you? How old is your son?
My son is 19.
Okay, so university, starting university?
Yeah. Yes, 1 year, first year at university.
And to study what?
Petroleum. Yeah.
What are you studying? What is your son studying?
My son is studying in the petroleum engineering.
Petroleum engineering. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, we're not running out of petrol anytime soon, so you're good for the next 20 years. Then you may want to switch to solar engineering. But you know what is really interesting is going forward in our lifetimes. I'm sorry, my lifetime. You all are much younger than I am. In my lifetime, we could get away with maybe 2 degrees, and then we do that career for the rest of our lives.
Okay, I'm going to revise.
The lifetime of our children who are in their 20s or even younger, they will have to reinvent themselves every 5 years. Technology,
family.
information will change so rapidly, and they cannot survive with 1 degree and 1 course. That profession and their professions will need to keep changing, adapting, and building. I started off in pharmacy, went to management, and now we are a team. The Empower School of Health was purely public health and supply chain. Now we are half public health and supply chain and half digital learning, graphic design, sound design, and instructional designers. It is this combination that helps us create really interesting content and material, which we are doing. So all your children, as you are learning and growing, don't say, I want to be a doctor or a lawyer and engineer. Say, I want to be a lawyer, and then exactly like some of you have done, finance or computer science or agriculture, and you're adding supply chain. If we are doing it now, your children will have to do it 2 or 3 times faster and more, and they need to be more agile and flexible. Okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Idem, I see lots of children. Your turn. Introduce them.
Beautiful family. This is they are my children, my first daughter. Let me pronounce the name. You can help pronounce it. You know that? This is my second daughter, Keme. And then this is the third daughter, Manuela. And the latest biggest boy, Chris. This is a great family. So you can imagine what is going on here. It's a big one. Thank you very much.
How did you graduate is what I want to know.
With all this, God on my side. God on my side. The strength is only from the Lord.
God on your side.
Commitment. Yeah. Thank you very much.
How do I pronounce Nsuya Mafaesa? I'm so sorry for the pronunciation. If your daughter's there who brought you into our course, please bring her and introduce her to us. One who insisted that you do your digital learning course.
Unfortunately, she's not here. I'm here by myself. They're home.
Okay, no worries. And who was the gentleman with 5 children? I can't hear.
Yes. Unfortunately, that's not yet back from the school. So
Okay.
I'm alone here. And even my wife, she's not around. She went into the other city. So I'm alone. Unfortunately, you cannot see them.
You mean you arranged to have peace and quiet during this ceremony, which is a very good idea. Okay. I understand. My wife, my one son who's here, one is in the US, and my two dogs are in the other place. I made sure they are not here to disturb.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, for me, two are in the boarding school, three they are here, but they are currently still in the school.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. By the way, through whether it's a miracle of God or maybe it's a delay or whatever it is, the COVID virus has not in a very hard way like it has in other places. So we need to continue to be careful and be prepared. From a supply chain point of view, all of you will play.
Prof, this music is very sweet, so I would have loved you to listen to it.
Then play it, my friend. It's okay. Go for it.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Bring it closer to the microphone.
Hallelujah. Able to succeed. Able to make it.
Wonderful.
Woo! There is nothing the Lord cannot do.
Wonderful, wonderful. By the way, where's Priya? I don't see Priya on this. Priya, can you turn on your microphone?
He is able.
Priya, where are you?
Yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
Priya, turn on your microphone and say hello to all your friends who have been talking more about you than Prof. Andy and me. There you are.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you all.
Hello, Priya. How are you, Priya?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good to see you, Priya. Good to see you.
I've been looking
Is
for
that
Priya ever
Priya,
since,
right?
and thank God I finally saw her.
I mean, the
Good to
amount
see
of
you.
follow-up
Thank you so much
that
for
she has
everything.
needed to do is
You're a
fantastic.
great guy. You're a great lady.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
You're very
everyone.
supportive. You're always available. You're very nice. You're so accommodating. You are
Thank you.
very persevering. We appreciate you. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Is Hitesh also around? Who are the other,
Priya.
Sorry, Priya, who are the other team members that are with you today?
Sir, I guess Hitesh is there. Let me just WhatsApp him, ask him to come online.
Yeah.
This is Priya. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Priya. Thank you, Priya. Thank you.
That's great. Yeah, so she's been very regular about follow-up. It was her idea to get the graduation done, and we were initially expecting 30 people, but she somehow, I guess with the encouragement and support, 40 people are graduating, which is fantastic. So excellent, excellent, excellent.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Great, great, great. So once again, I know it's been very long. It was supposed to be 2 hours. We are way over 3 hours now, almost coming to 3. Thank you very much. And you will be invited to a platform. Priya is going to organize that where we request all of you to register and we will continue to communicate job opportunities, internship opportunities, or connecting with friends, starting your discussion forums, all under the Empower group as well. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless. Please take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great
Thank
evening.
you, everyone. It's been amazing.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
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 And good luck.
Bye, 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 bye.
Bye-bye.
You were made for
A big thank you to everyone. A big thank you to everyone. My colleagues, congratulations. Prof and others, a big thank you. The Lord shall continue to lift you higher. In Jesus' name, amen.
Congratulations, team. Wish you good luck in some further studies. We wish you go
Great
higher.
moment.
Great.
And higher. Greater moment. Greater moment. Greater achievement.
Yes.
Stay cool.